Here for Black Hills State, we have head coach John Reiners, defensive back JJ Kilgore, and running back Phydell Paris. Coach Reiner is now in his 4th season, saw him earlier today, and we joked around a little bit that he's right up there in seniority now, I think tied for 3rd in seniority now in the RMAC. But Coach, if you could start us off with some opening comments.
Yeah, once again, it's very exciting to be here. Thank you to the RMAC and all the media for being present. This is a great event to broadcast what's going on with RMAC football. Obviously, congratulations to CSU Pueblo and Coach Riston helping to put RMAC football on the map even more. When you look at us and where we're at, we're very optimistic, just like every team is. But when we look at it, I think this is going into our 4th year in the RMAC. We know the rigors of what it takes to play. And we're very excited. We got a great group of guys returning. We did lose 19 seniors, and obviously it's difficult to replace guys like that when you lose that many. But I know we got a good young team. We have 7 seniors coming back this year. So when you look at it, and you just heard John L. talk about the strength of your senior class, we have a great senior class. Maybe not a lot like him, but we got great leadership, and not just from our seniors, but from our underclassmen as well. And so when you look at it overall, obviously one of the big question marks is going to be replacing a guy like Ward Anderson, our quarterback. He was a 3-year starter. We had some guys that competed in the spring, had great springs with Zach Meyer and Ben Sabakin, and then we got some good young kids coming in that'll be competing for that spot. And then when you look at offensively, we got Phydell Paris coming back, our leading rusher. Only a sophomore, but it has done some great things, and we're excited about his leadership as well. So offensively, we know there's some things that we have to work on as far as guys that haven't had the experience, but we got a great group of young guys that had great springs, and we're very excited about competing. Obviously, we also made some changes. We got a new offensive coordinator, Evan Eastburn, came in the spring and did a great job of getting our guys on track with what we want to do offensively. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, we're going to be young there as well. JJ Kilgore was a starter last year as a true freshman. Once again, a great leader, a guy that we're going to look heavily and rely heavily on for next year. But we also made a change there. Anthony Kerr's our new defensive coordinator. And so, we talked about changes in the RMAC. We had some changes on our staff, and very excited about those changes and what's happening with the new staff and how we've come together with everything. We get our all-conference kicker back from 2 years ago in Christian Parr. And so special teams-wise, we're excited about things that we can do to keep going in there. I think when you look at it, everybody will tell you. It doesn't matter if you're CSU Pueblo or Black Hills State, and we heard John L. talk about it, consistency. We need to show that we can consistently win in this conference. We know how difficult it is. You got to be ready to play week in and week out. I know our guys are up to that challenge. Like I said, very optimistic, very excited about this upcoming season. It's not going to be without its challenges. You look out here, there's some great teams, great players, week in and week out. We'll start off with Idaho State, going up to Pocatello. That's our first non-conference game. And then, as you heard earlier, we will play our rival down the road, South Dakota Mines, in a televised game on ESPN3, and I believe that'll be the 125th meeting of us two. So a lot of history in that meeting, and we're very excited about that. But I'll take any questions at this time.
Good morning, Coach. Quick Raps from Hero Sports. Actually, let me direct this to Phydell and JJ. Ask you guys, since you're both going to be working with new coordinators on your respective ends, talk about the transition into the new schemes.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough at first to totally learn a new defense, but we had a great spring, and I think the spring's really going to help us just hit the ground running for fall. So we're all just focused on Idaho State. I think it's a great scheme. I think we get guys flying around on defense and making plays, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and echo that. Anytime you kind of get a change, I mean, there's a little bit of nervousness and excitement with it. Learning the new scheme and offense, it's just a lot of repetition. Spring ball was huge for us, just getting everybody working together, and also just kind of working a lot during the winter, just getting a core group of guys together, just working different stuff, even if we don't know the whole scheme. It's just a lot of repetition, and it's just exciting to be able to be a part of something that, could potentially have the impact of, changing games. So.
Quick follow-up for you, Phydell. You came in as a true freshman, and now you're Did you expect that here you are in your sophomore year, you're going to have these players, your young incoming players looking up to you as a veteran even though you're just a sophomore?
Yeah, it's kind of weird thinking about it. Even looking around the room, I feel kind of young. But it's just, I'm just happy to be here. I've just kind of taken on that role, and, we're all in this together. So it's not, there is seniority and that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, it's like you're on you're 11 players on the field. It is what it is, but we're excited. We don't have a whole lot of seniors, but we have a good group of guys like you're talking about, and we're going to expect people to come in and make plays, and that's just going to be how it's going to be throughout the season.
Coach Reiners, you have two kids here from Denver, and both are sophomores. I imagine since you've joined the RMAC, has your recruiting footprint maybe changed a little bit during that time?
Yeah, no doubt. You look in the RMAC, there's great football in this region, and we're very fortunate to be able to get into Colorado and do some recruiting. If you've ever been to Black Hills or Spearfish, it's a beautiful place, and it has some similarity, with everything. We're not the Rocky Mountains, but we are beautiful, and so we are able to get down here in Colorado and do some recruit, and I guess steal some away from the Colorado schools. But you can't find better kids than JJ and Phydell. Even though they are young and sophomores, they are phenomenal leaders, and it helps to have kids like that to help build that footprint and keep us where we're going, because you got to be able to recruit in this league, and you got to be able to recruit the best players, whether they're from Colorado, South Dakota, Wyoming, California. It doesn't matter.
South Dakota Mines comes in the league next year in football. Everything else this year, the game's being picked up by ESPN3. You mentioned 125 years, one of the oldest rivalries, I think, up there with Harvard-Yale. Do people understand in the RMAC yet what that rivalry's like?
Oh, I don't think they don't, and they probably shouldn't. To them, it's just having a new team in there, and for us, even though they're going to be new in the league for us, we've never quit playing them, and it just is going to add a little more incentive to that rivalry, where now that rivalry is just a non-conference game. Now that rivalry is going to count in the conference standings, and so that's a huge thing, and it's a great rivalry. Anywhere you go to any booster function, you go to any alumni function, and that's always the talk is the tech game, and so we're excited about it. It's going to be a great opportunity this year to have it televised. Being that lengthy of a rivalry, and the home stake trophy and the history behind that, we're excited to get South Dakota Mines in the league. I think it's a great addition, for football, but for all the sports in general.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, guys.